Let's call our meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence. You may be seated. All members are present. Holly, would you like to read our mission and vision statement?
The mission of East Washington School Corporation is students are empowered and encouraged to reach their personal best. The vision of East Washington School Corporation is achieve excellence.
Thank you. And then we're going to jump right into our school corporation aims and reports with Superintendent Jones.
Thanks. So we're on the final stretch. We've got about 7.5 weeks. I think we're at 37 days, student days now. So it's busy across all the campuses. There's a lot going on, a lot of planning, looking at graduation, spring sports. Spring sports are hectic because we cram as much into 2.5 months as we do like our winter sports. So, and we came out of a nice ride from a long basketball season. So it was a good ending, but it didn't give our athletics much break in before we jumped right in. And so tonight baseball's opening night at Christian Academy, and softball's Thursday or Friday, and first home game will be Thursday for baseball, and then Friday night will be the Corden Stargazer. So, which is always cold. I promise it will be cold. Take warm gloves. It's fun. The kids like that one. But so that's going on. Darren and I starting to think about graduation. It's probably my favorite thing we do all year, and it is on Saturday. You guys approved back in the winter, but we will have Saturday at 6 o'clock. That does keep us from conflicting with either two of the county schools. So we've got that now to where we all have our times, and which makes it nice for our families that have kids in multiple districts. Life Ready competition ended right before spring break, which is always a big event in the middle school, and they got their top 10. I believe they're going to Rosario's. That's the restaurant for the winners. That ends the big competition, and then right into iLearn. And so they did iLearn Checkpoint 3 is going on this week, and then we'll go right into the actual Checkpoint 4, which is the test. So that's the only part I don't like about one of the issues I have with the checkpoint is you don't have much time between Checkpoint 3 and when you actually start testing. But that's where we're at. Textbook adoptions, we're looking at social studies in the middle school. We worked with Mark for a couple in the high school, so all of our textbook adoptions are about to wrap up, and that should be to you all. The principals are working on their handbooks, so those will come next month. And also the next year is our last year on this current 1003 waiver, and so they will present their PD plan for the district next month. So that will come to you all next month. A couple other things that just went on in the district this month. We had Brent Comer from Borden-Henryville and Charlie Gardner from Borden just kind of looking at as district sizes, where can we partner together, and had a really nice visit, and they really impressed with. They came here, we're really impressed with a lot of our CTE facilities. Next step, we would really like to get our two boards together to talk about maybe what that looks like and how we can partner together. The other thing I worked with and working on an MOU this month is after our safety meeting, we worked on 2 reunification sites. So Salem will be our first reunification site, with Borden being our alternate. Borden's a little closer, but Salem facility is just a little easier to navigate in the sense of an emergency. And so we're working through an MOU with both of them, and working on finalizing our MOU with Equus. We have some kids that still plan. I talked to Tim this week at Equus Aviation, and that program continues to grow. So excited for what memorandum of understanding. So that's, you always have that on file. So those are the ones we're working on for next year. Infinite Campus, Kyle and I met with them over spring break, and they are migrating our data from Alma. And that's taking some time, but Kyle and I have both, and I'll let him speak to it if he wants to add anything, but really impressed with their data team and their onboarding team. Total different feel than when we had went with Alma. Just their knowledge. They originally told us we're going to schedule all programs, and then he's come into so many issues with our high school. He said, let's rethink. So they're just very quick on the problem solving and working with our staff to make things happen. So really happy with them. Anything you want to add on that? Yeah. And then we did get quotes. We haven't made a recommendation, but we are gathering quotes for the middle school and elementary. They're coming in high on devices, but our staff devices are out of date. And not just time to refresh. You cannot update them to the current Windows. So we really have, it's a time to make that move. So two things, and I don't know if Greg wants to add anything, but we did have a bus that's had a major engine go down, and so Greg's still waiting to hear from, we're looking for maybe a leased option because the bus is 15 years old, Greg, is that right?
Yeah, right at it.
It's 15 years old, and to put in an engine would cost us about $24,000. So we're still waiting. Finding those lease buses come back are kind of now like precious commodity, and so we're working on that. And then Greg also met with Nicole from OPA about our summer food program, and then we're finalizing what summer school will look like at the elementary. We really moved away from summer school at the middle school and high school with credit recovery and the options we offer during the school year. We will have to offer it for anybody that hasn't passed iRead, but that will be our target. And I think that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, one other thing. Thanks, Dishman, for coming tonight, and it's later on in the board that you guys will, his name's in the personnel, but I want to thank him and his whole family for coming tonight, so.
It's so boring here, I know.
We're fast.
Yeah.
We'll get you out.
All right, at this time, we will open the floor for public comments. All right, we'll move forward to our consent items. Do I have a motion to approve our consent items as presented?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
A second.
All those in favor? Aye. Employment of staff for personnel. Mrs. Jones, superintendent, recommends the following: Dishman Fields as middle school principal, effective July 1st, 2026. Mrs. Stacy Richardson, elementary school principal, recommends the following: Lindsay Wilson as elementary school nurse, effective March 30th, 2026. Brianna, I'm not going to even attempt that, as elementary school support specialist, effective March 30th. Extracurricular, Mrs. Starrett, middle school athletic director, recommends the following: Eric Sessions as middle school golf coach. And then we have a retirement. Ms. Rebecca Jones, superintendent, accepted the following retirement. That's Ms. Donna Campbell, our corporate administrative assistant, effective July 1st, 2026. And then
We need to talk.
and then volunteers, Mr. Sean Smith, high school athletic director, recommends the following: Brian Nash and Sue Shipman as volunteer high school girls tennis assistant coaches. It's recommended that we approve the personnel changes as presented, and I apologize, I have one more on our sheet attached, a resignation for Christy Polson, high school custodian, effective March 30th. Do I have a motion to accept those?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I have two things. One, I plan to post Donna's job tomorrow, and even though I hate, she's made the transition to this job easy. I don't miss things because Donna has really been right there to say this needs to go on the board packet, and so I will really miss her. And she's been an asset for a lot of years to East Washington, so She's gonna help us in the transition as we start to look, so we're not gonna wait. I don't wanna wait until the end of summer when she's leaving and we don't have that position, so we will start that search immediately. But I wanna thank her publicly for her years here, and she will be missed.
Yes, you as a board member, she's been very helpful as well, so.
And then the second thing, the committee that served, I had the principals and association, and Jamie served on the committee, and you know, we were all in agreement that Dishman was just going to be a good fit for our district, and really excited. I think he's excited. We're excited to have him become a musketeer. I'm glad to see y'all in purple.
All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, next we have approval of a school nurse transition stipend and training process. Amy Green will provide temporary school nurse training at her regular hourly rate through the start of the 26-27 school year. Allison Pop will receive a $750 stipend for additional duties at the elementary school during the nurse transition process through May 22nd, 2026. This stipend will be issued as a one-time payment in June of 2026. It is recommended that the board approve the school nurse transition stipend and training process as submitted. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
And the second? I'll second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, our action items, we have approval of the memorandum of understanding. The MOU is needed for participation in a grant through the Wilson Center. It is recommended that the board approve the memo of understanding. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right, next is approval of donations. I know we have a lot of them, but I like to read them because I want to make sure everybody gets recognized. Yes, so bear with me. All right, so we've got for the high school, Green and Sons, Inc., $1,000 for the girls' basketball state finals. For the high school, Dawn and Michelle Burton, $500 for the girls' basketball state finals. For the high school, Temple and Temple, $500, girls' state finals. High school, Direct Sales and Marketing LLC, $200 for the girls' basketball state finals. The elementary school, Sullivan's Feed Mill, $100 for the school supplies service project. For the elementary school, $360 accounting and tax service, $500 for the school supply service project. High school, John Jones Auto Group, $500 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Jason Wade Insurance and Financial Services, $500 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, RTA Playgrounds, $1,000 for the girls' basketball state finals. I'm gonna go, skip this one. The next one's middle school, David Churchman, RTA Playgrounds, a Gaga ball pit, valued at $4,000 for the middle school students.
So they're going to pay, by the way, this summer.
Okay. All right, for the high school, Eddie Brown, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Ron and Lola Smith, $500 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Reggie Terrell, $300 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Mosier Family Chiropractic, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Daniel and Michelle Fowler, $300 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Mike Jones, $100, girls' basketball state finals. High school, Dean Coleman, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, New Pekin Properties, $250 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Melissa Mead, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Marshall Sales, $50 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Hughes Taylor Funeral Homes, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. Let's see, high school, B&S Mobile RV Service, $500 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, John Churchman, $1,000 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Triple G Gun Gallery Inc., $50 for the girls' basketball state finals. High school, Charles and Tammy Rickard, $200 for the girls' basketball state finals. The elementary school, Temple and Temple, $500 for the school supply service project. For the corporation, insurance trustees, $1,000 for the corporation. Elementary school, telemedia, $750 for the school supply service project. Middle school, TKM Home Services, $75 for the Life Ready competition. High school, Jason Wade Insurance and Financial Services, $751.50, and that was for the Washington DC t-shirts done by the manufacturing department. Elementary school, Cooley's Heating and Air, $1,000 for the school supply service project. The corporation, German American Bank, $7,000, and that's for the corporate use. Elementary school, Stephen Brewer and Company, CPA, and that is for $300 for the school supply service project. Then we have, for the middle school, Kappa 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 Inc., $500 for the middle school STEM class. In the high school, Norma Jean's Ice Cream Shop, $100 for the girls' basketball state finals. Everyone's donations are greatly appreciated. Obviously, we couldn't do what we do without the support of our community, so thank you to everybody there. All right, can I get a motion to approve all those donations?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you so much.
Approval of new courseware offering for the 26-27 school year, and it's as presented there, the career information and exploration recommended for the 9th and 10th graders. It is recommended that the board approve the new courseware offering at Eastern High School for the 26-27 school year as submitted. Do I have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. I don't think we have any as needed. All right. Any board member comments, committee reports?
I just want to echo what Rebecca said, and thank you, Donna, for everything you've done here, and you've been just helpful anytime I needed anything in my short stint here, and just appreciate that. I know how much Rebecca thinks of you. She's said to me several times, I have a Donna, and she wears that like a badge because she's very thankful for you. So, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you very much. And welcome, we look forward to working with you as well.
I look forward to it as well.
Yeah.
All right, the next school board meeting is scheduled for April 28th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.